Now, this news comes as we are getting, in fact, some of the most disturbing details to date of how Trump tried again and again to use the Department of Justice to pursue and to create baseless claims of voter fraud, including what one official who went so far as to draft a resignation letter in response to what he said were Trump's, quote, direct instructions to the DOJ to question the election results. Now, this letter was actually drafted on January 3rd. That's 3 days, of course, before the deadly insurrection. But the pressure campaign started long before that. And I want to lay it out for you so you understand what we're really looking at here. I'll start with December 1st. On December 1st, Trump summons then Attorney General Bill Barr to meet with him after Barr told the Associated Press that the Department of Justice had, quote, not seen fraud on a scale that could have affected a different outcome in the election. Period, full stop. Basic facts from Bill Barr. According to ABC News reporter Jonathan Karl, Trump had, quote, the eyes and mannerism of a madman in this meeting with Barr. And Barr tells Trump in this meeting on December 1st, this is Barr to Trump, you keep on saying that the Department of Justice is not looking at this stuff. And we are looking at it in a responsible way. But your people keep on shoveling this shit out. Okay? So that's what Barr says. Let's move on. December 3rd. This is what Trump's cronies were actually shoveling out.
The Democrats were counting votes in the middle of the night, having thrown Republicans out of the room. They took ballots from under a table and counted them in the middle of the night.
They have fought so hard to get rid of President Trump and tried every dirty, nasty, evil, illegal trick in the book to do it. Yeah, it is pure evil.
Okay, so that's what was being shoveled out. Then comes December 14th, an hour before Trump announces Barr would step down, because you could see how that relationship was going to go after Barr said the truth. Trump's personal assistant fires off an email to the incoming acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen. This email contains an attachment that claimed to show evidence of voter fraud in Michigan. The same claims that were tossed out by a federal judge a week earlier. I'll give you another date, December 23rd. Trump picks up the phone, calls Georgia's top elections investigator, urging her to find the, quote, dishonesty.
But whatever you can do, Francis, it would be, it's a great thing. If the right answer comes out, you'll be praised.
You'll be praised. December 26th. Trump, obviously unhappy that the Justice Department had not publicly come out to say there was election fraud, fires off a tweet. It says the Justice Department, the word justice is put in quotes, and the FBI have done nothing about the 2020 presidential election voter fraud, the biggest scam in our nation's history. Despite overwhelming evidence, they should be ashamed. History will remember. Never give up. See everyone in D.C. on January 6th. December 27th, Trump holds a call with the then acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen, right, because he'd gotten rid of Bill Barr. Rosen's deputy, who is Richard Donahue, was on the call, and he's taking notes. So he takes notes, and according to Donahue, here's what Trump says. Trump says, and I quote, just say that the election was corrupt and leave the rest to me and the Republican congressman. December 28th, Jeffrey Clark, a Trump loyalist who works at the Justice Department, circulates a letter. And this letter calls on Georgia to convene a special legislative session to look into, quote, irregularities in the 2020 election. The letter, obtained by ABC News, falsely claims that the DOJ had identified, quote, significant concerns that may have impacted the outcome of the election in multiple states, including the state of Georgia, end quote. That is a complete lie. The Department of Justice had not identified that. That never happened. It's a lie. Barr had already said it was a lie. This guy Clark goes out, works for the Justice Department, sends out this lie. Well, DOJ officials rejected his request to send that specific letter. But Trump doesn't stop. In the days that follow, he continues to go out there, and he's growing more desperate at this point. So I bring you to December 29th. Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, has a meeting with Rosen and several others, and the topic of this meeting is voter fraud. January 1st, Meadows again emails Rosen. And in this email, Meadows, chief of staff to the President of the United States, sends Rosen a YouTube video that talks about Italian satellites fixing the U.S. election. I'm not kidding you, right? This comes from the president's office. Rosen forwards this email to Donahue, who responds, pure insanity. That's the quote. But it doesn't stop then. January 2nd, Trump again picks up the phone. He calls Georgia's top election officials, including the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger.
All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
Okay, and that was just one of 18 attempted calls from the White House to the Georgia Secretary of State since Election Day. And that weekend, January 3rd, Trump appears to abandon his threats to replace Rosen after top Justice Department officials vowed to resign en masse. That's what stops him from firing Rosen. And January 4th, just 2 days before the insurrection, this is what we heard from Trump publicly.
Over the past few weeks, we've demonstrated that we won the election in a landslide. The fact is, we won the presidential election. We won it big, and we're going to win tomorrow.
What was tomorrow? January 6th, the day of the insurrection. Trump's efforts to overturn the election then came to a head. His supporters gathering in Washington and Trump taking matters into his own hands as he whipped them up into a frenzy and then unleashed them onto the Capitol, where the lawmakers were meeting to validate the election results.
We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. We're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.